So how can you utilize the bed of the Jeep Gladiator even more? Sure, you can get it right from the dealership, leave it stock, just throw stuff in the back. But there are better ways to use the bed of the Jeep Gladiator. And of course, there will be links to some of this stuff down below if you're interested in checking any of it out. You can already get a little bit of a view. Mine's got a few added extra things in it. First of all, probably one of the most eye-catching things anyway, are the billet tie-downs from billettiedowns.com. There is a link down below to save a little money on these. Now, I have quite a few in my truck, obviously, and the whole point of that is to be able to show the versatility of them. Now, your truck, if it's like mine, may not have come with the side rails, the brackets on the sides. I didn't have them either in the front or on the sides. I bought them, I believe it was off of the internet. Again, I'll leave a link if I have one for them, but they're pretty simple to find. Just a bolt-on application, and then you can add as many tie-downs as you want. These things are billet aluminum. I love them. They're nice and sturdy, very capable, and I love these little quick thumb releases so you can slide them back and forth in the track if you want. I also put some across the front, of course, because I like to have as many tie-down opportunities or spaces, I guess, as I can, depending on what I'm hauling. Up in the front, I replaced those little screen door looking like things that come in the truck. I like these much better. Of course, they do add an aesthetic feature to the truck. They come in a lot of different colors as well. They also swivel at the end points, as you can see there. I've got my tie downs across for the bed mat. We'll get to the reason why for that in a minute. I don't recommend the mat, by the way. I also have added the Gladi board. You can see across the front. And just a very simple thing. I mean, you don't have to decorate it or anything. It's just a 2x4. There is a video with the length and all that stuff on the web, or on YouTube, I should say. I chose to paint mine green to kind of go with the color of the truck. I also put Gladiator on it just to dress it up a little bit. Again, you don't have to do it that way if you don't want. Of course, the slots allow you to put things up across the front here so that they don't roll back in the bed, especially if you happen to have a tonneau cover. There's nothing worse than, say, loading something in here that's small, you get home, you want to pull it out, you're in a hurry. If you're like me, I always am, and the stuff that you've got is laying up there against the bed underneath the tonneau cover. So you get to screw around, pulling the tonneau cover back, or maybe crawl underneath, which I used to do when I had a tonneau cover on a different Jeep. Now I don't have to do that. That Gladi board stops everything from rolling up there to the front. Now, we've also got slots in the wheel covers or wheel well areas. You can see up there. Hopefully it shows on the camera. There's one there. You can put boards across if you want. And then you can also pull up the tailgate using the little clip-like things on the inside here so that you can put a 2x8 sheet of plywood, drywall, whatever you want, right on across. Makes it pretty handy to haul longer stuff if you need to. Also to keep things from rolling out, maybe if they come right up to the edge and you can't quite shut the tailgate. Very handy feature, and good thinking that Jeep put something like this in. I really like that. Notice on the sides, you do have these little indentations, these little dimples in the side of the truck. They're the same on both sides. They are preset holes, if you will, or areas where you can add one of those flip out bed extenders if you want. I've had those in the past. Honestly, I kind of go either way with those because most of the time I found them to be simply in my way. I was looking to haul something a little bit longer and I would have to reach in and whip the thing back and then put everything in over the top of it. It's a pretty small thing, but again, I'm always in a hurry and I don't want to have to screw with anything. The way they work, of course, they pivot on the brackets that hold them in. You grab them, you pull them back, and they sit right back here on top of the tailgate to, in essence, extend your hauling capability a bit. The only issue I had with them, a lot of them have a pretty good gap between the bars, and if you stacked wood or anything in there that was narrower, obviously it could still slide right out of the back of the truck. You don't want that to happen. More recently, I have seen some come that with kind of a cover or a screen around the edges so that you can maintain whatever you're hauling inside that might be smaller. That's a pretty darn good idea. To set them up, all you do is go ahead and clear out if there are threaded holes below here. I can't remember if there's threaded holes like there is up here, or if they're just holes where you could put inserts in and then screw into as well. Nonetheless, it's a pretty simple install. Doesn't cost a fortune either. And the nice thing about it, some people might be concerned about theft of that piece, I guess, is when the tailgate is closed, you cannot bring the bar back to be able to pull it out of the brackets that hold it in. So really no worry about security if you happen to have those and people stealing them from you. Now, I mentioned about the bed mat. Why I have the bungee cords in there, I'll give you a tip. If you're in the market and you're looking for a bed mat, make sure that you get one that's got some weight to it. Because what I discovered is they're so light these days because of pricing. Everybody wants to sell the cheapest product, right? So they've reduced the thickness of the bed mat, which reduces its weight. The wind can catch it. It can actually blow out. A while back, I took the Tacoma there in. I had a different one with a bed mat and no cover. And when I got to the dealer, I noticed the, oh, check out this butterfly. Check that out. We've got a visitor. What do you think that is? Hopefully it's not, oh, there he goes. Oop, don't go in the garage, bud. No, we don't want him to go in here. Sorry, we're gonna, I'll watch him land on the camera. Keep him out of the garage because his fate won't be good if he's in the garage. So that was kind of cool. Anyway, make sure you get a bed mat that's got weight to it. I got to the dealer with the Tacoma to trade it off. I left the bed mat in, and when I showed up at the dealership, I noticed it was laying across the bed. It had lifted up, turned. The last thing you want to have happen is have that bed mat blow out while you're on the freeway and drape it across the windshield of somebody behind you. It would be disastrous for you and for them. So I do not recommend these real thin deals. Get one that's really thick. Best one I think I've ever had, and it's honestly overkill, is just a stall mat from Tractor Supply. Very, very heavy, and no way it's actually gonna blow out of the back of the truck. The final thing is the bed liner. I go back and forth on that. It does protect the bed. The Jeep Gladiator, unlike the Toyota Tacoma out there, still has a metal bed. The Tacoma's composite plastic, if you didn't know. So you do want to protect it from scratching, from the paint coming off, and then the material rusting. Not a bad idea to have one put in. I still would go with some kind of a mat because even though this is a more coarse surface with the spray-in liner, it's still very, very slippery. Anyway, those are just a few things to make the bed a little bit more useful on the Gladiator. You don't have to put those things in, but why not get as much as you can out of the truck? Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.